Hi everyone, Zachariah and I are here today and we're going to talk about the beautiful apple orchard here. And we've seen a few questions about apple prices and how last year the boxes of apples were down to $12 and crazy low prices. And why aren't we seeing that this year? So we thought we'd just come up and step in the orchard and talk with you all about it. So what drives apple prices? Why are the apple prices a little bit higher this year? What can they expect?
So apple prices are obviously based on supply. And this year, overall, the crop in this area has been down considerably. People are saying about 25 to 30% lower than what we saw last year. And so that has obviously brought the apple price overall up a little bit because the quantity harvested this year was down. For our Azure husbandry apples, the ones that we pick off the farm here, we've just finished picking about a week ago on our last apples, the Granny Smiths. And our crop was down probably closer to 50 to 60% lower than what we saw last year. Last year was a huge bumper crop. We had a lot of apples. We were able to pass on at really good prices. This year, definitely much less. We're just going to be selling them out, probably be done by about the first of the year. And so we'll probably maintain a higher, more market value price. And we won't be doing those huge blowout sales that we're able to drop the price down to, $12 to $15 a box like we did last year, just because we don't have that excess fruit like we did last year.
And another thing to comment on is the reason why that happened. So last year we had an incredibly warm spring, no frost really to speak of that would damage the fruit buds. This year we did have some really weird late frost, and so that killed a lot of the fruit early in the spring.
There's that, but the other aspect of that is a lot of fruit trees, apples particularly, are very prone to is what's called alternate bearing. So when you have a super heavy crop one year, the next year the trees, they put so much energy in last year that they do less on the next year. So we're definitely seeing some of that too. Our Fujis did pretty good. Our Galas did pretty good. Things like Honeycrisp, Ginger Golds, Jana Golds, we had much less this year, almost non-existent on some of the varieties, just because of how heavy of a crop we picked last year. So definitely working on that. It's a nutrition thing. If we can get the nutrition in the trees and the soil active enough that the tree doesn't feel the stress of a heavy crop one year, then theoretically it will produce a lot heavier again the next year, but we're not there all the way. It's much better this year than we've seen in the past. As far, like I said, the Galas and the Fujis and stuff really rebloomed very well. But between the alternate bearing and then a really cold spring this spring, for us with a lot of frost and stuff, we ended up with a much smaller crop.
So anyways, we hope that answers some of your questions, and make sure to get those apples in your orders. If you want to get some of our Azure husbandry apples, we will also be sourcing from some other farmers to help substitute what we can't provide. So no worries, there won't be any shortage of apples. You just might not see the discount blowout sales like there were so much last year. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you all have a beautiful autumn.